Greetings, everyone. Greetings and welcome. My name is Slayheim, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit more in depth about the newly trademarked Ever Crisis and First Soldier titles that we heard from Square Enix this week. Um, I really appreciate you stopping by. Please consider smashing the like button and subscribing. It would really help the channel grow. Let's try and get your boy to 1,000 this year. But anyways, we're all just speculating here in the community, and I've been a lifelong fan. Final Fantasy VII was one of my favorites. I didn't like Remake too much, and I kind of have, I don't like the a lot of the compilation content. It's not that I don't like it, I just feel like it kind of muddies the original story. So just take this for what it is. I'm still excited to play the second part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I have accepted that the thing with this is they're trying to do something very tricky. See, the world of Final Fantasy VII, and even just from the compilation material, it's an expansive world. They've introduced time travel or possibly like a parallel dimension to it. So there could be room for the backstory of others. For example, like more about Vincent, more about Angeal, more about Sephiroth, more about Zack, Genesis, who knows. But the story has been done and redone and reiterated a lot. And yeah, like it or not, it's part of one big compilation. So here we're all in this era, so there is, this is their chance to catch us all up in one place, fans old and new. They're doing something very tricky. They're blending the old with the new, but the thing is, they're starting from the beginning, but we as the fans, we've been with these characters, we've consumed the content, but it's a retelling of the story from the beginning with all these other things on it. Like, for example, Eris and Sephiroth, they seem to know so much more, and these two trademarks, it leads me to believe that this will be a trilogy. I think that this will be a trilogy of sort. Yeah, please don't let this be a mobile game. Please don't let this be a movie. Please don't let this be an anime, but it very well may be. And the thing is we are not gonna know. We're not gonna know for quite some time. Another thing is this year in 2021, their main focus is gonna be Final Fantasy 16, um, possibly Project Althea, and also Final Fantasy 14 Online Shadowbringers is coming to an end. So in February, we may be hearing about 6.0. What will that entail? So this may not be for some time, a couple of years, you know? Um what else do we have here in my notes? Let's see. So Zack could possibly be alive, and if it wasn't for Zack, he kind of was responsible for kind of sending Cloud on his way, and Cloud, in large part, is who he is because of Zack, because of Sephiroth, their whole journey together. And how will Cloud be affected now with these other elements introduced? Zack was a huge influence on the story that he didn't really have a big role, but it was hinted that he's so important. And yeah, so this will be a really interesting thing that they do. I'm very curious to see what role Zack will play in the story. Um, does he deserve a big role? And how will he shape events? It's going to be very interesting, and I feel like whatever title the second game is, it's a shame because they could have used reunion, they could have used um remake, reunion. There was one more. It slips my mind, but kind of like a R series of trilogies. Um, Also Sephiroth. We got a one of the best moments in Final Fantasy VII was through Cloud's flashbacks. We got to see how powerful Sephiroth really was. And here's the thing too. In a way, like in the original game, Sephiroth wasn't even really there until the end. His body was in the northern crater. So it makes sense. Like, I mean, even from like a marketing standpoint, like Sephiroth is, I think him and Cloud, they've been in so many games, they've made so many cameos. It would make sense to have him kind of have a bigger role in this game and be more of like the centerpiece. And also just to kind of explain to people and kind of catch everyone up, and sort of flesh it out better. But just look at how much of a small little part of it we got in this first game. As much as I don't want DLC, feel like they have to kind of have some sort of DLC to kind of give us a little bit more, So this also could be like some kind of definitive or game of the year edition, you know. Um, I'm sure they have more stuff. The game came out during a very sort of weird time, and it was a huge success. So there must be more content, and I feel like we'll get it in the form of DLC. One of the interesting things though is one thing that would be cool to see in a game format is, or like in this modern game, is to have Cloud spend a little bit of time, or maybe just start from his time as a youngster in the war with Wutai, and have you go through some of Sephiroth's exploits, because Sephiroth was kind of like a hero. He was a war hero. He was very famous. Cloud aspired to be like him. And I'll never forget the scene with Cloud fighting alongside Sephiroth, the dragon. Do you remember this scene? Hang on. Let me show you. Man, even after all this time, that scene really gives me chills. Cloud fighting the dragon. But yeah, so these are just some thoughts I have on Ever Crisis and the First Soldier. I think that maybe sometime towards the end of this year or next year, we'll start to hear more and more snippets. They have their hands full right now with Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 14 6.0. But who knows? And we're all just speculating. No, nobody really knows. Nothing is set in stone. These are just some trademarks, but this is one of their biggest things, so they got to put a lot of love and care into it. There's so much to the world, there's so much to the characters, there's so much to the timeline. But I would like to see them go forward. I would like to see what all this means. What role does Zack play? What role is Sephiroth gonna play? Some flashback is necessary, but I hope they do it in a way that propels the story forward, while at the same time catching all of us up to sort of recent events and what's going on. I would like to see more of the War of Wutai. I would like to see more of Zack, and I'm just happy that the gang is back. One of my favorite things about Remake was Barrett. I love Barrett's interactions with Cloud. It was awesome. Anyways, those are just some thoughts that I have. Make sure I didn't miss anything on my notes. I apologize for the janky presentation. I'm still kind of working out some stuff, so please let me know. Let me know what you think. I want to create a nice discussion here. I made a rant about Final Fantasy VII Remake that got a lot of people talking, and it was so nice to hear so many different opinions. What do you think about Final Fantasy VII Remake? What do you think about Ever Crisis, about the first soldier? Do you think that um, some of these predictions will be possible, will be likely? Do you think it will be a trilogy? What do you think about the direction of this game going forward? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and hey, I just want to take a moment to thank you. We all are just so busy, and you took some time out of your day to come and check out my video. I really appreciate that. So, um thanks so much. I hope to see you around, and have a great day. Take care.